All right, let's see what we got going today again. Can headphones replace speakers? Absolutely. Wasn't that the whole idea of building these bad boys?
For a lot of people,
speakers?
yeah, they actually prefer headphones over speakers. We actually have a few speaker guys, some older speaker guys that were in 2-channel for a long, long time. And they finally decided to take the dive because of external circumstances. Either they no longer have the space or they can't make the noise. They have different housing arrangement or something like that. And now they really need something a bit more compact and doesn't make quite as much of a ruckus as speakers can. And a lot of those guys actually seem to find that they prefer headphones over speakers. So I think with the right headphone, the right gear, for a lot of people, yeah, a good headphone system can totally replace speakers. But kind of depends on the use case to some extent. And of course, not all headphones are made equal. So
well, we have both. We all have both.
Yeah.
So I think we could pretty much answer that pretty easily. I mean, Jason, you've got a shitload of both. So
yeah, well, yeah.
I mean,
I have been thinking about this, and like the last time, I was just reconfiguring everything, and then I listened to it. But before that, it was about 2 years before I even turned everything on, my speakers. It's been all headphones. So yeah, I have both, and I could use both, but I don't use speakers anymore.
Why is that?
Even for the big screen? Like when you got the
for home
projector?
theater, well, yeah. But I mean, listening to music. I don't listen to music on speakers anymore because they're just not as good as the headphones, So I don't even bother. And it's everything's just sitting here ready. I just put them on and then ready to go. So it's easy.
Yeah. Speakers, it's almost like a lifestyle adjustment to get like a really high-end 2-channel system because you need to get the room right and you need to get all the equipment right. And the equipment tends to cost considerably more, like an order of magnitude, if not more, than headphones to get the same equivalent type performance. And you can't just have the thing just like sitting there in the corner of a room like you can a headphone setup. It kind of occupies a significant amount of space. So you almost need a dedicated room for it. And for a lot of people, that's not really so practical. And so typically that tends to mean that your 2-channel system suffers relative to what you could get out of a headphone system for significantly less money. So I think
you got to look at it. I think you'd have to look at it both, though. Like if we're going to really cover the topic of can they replace them, we got to look at it from the standpoint of, let's say that somebody that's always had speakers their whole life.
Yeah.
Right. And, guys that are older, they didn't start with headphones. They didn't grow up with earbuds, like you guys did. They always had speakers. And I would think that when you're looking to go the other way, that traditionally headphones have kind of sucked relative to speakers.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, the other argument tends to be there's no tactile feel to it. You don't, obviously it's just not like having a subwoofer, although
you could.
I run subs I run my subs. I just turn the main amps off. I run the subs with the headphones if I feel like it. So technically you could do it. You just got to have the systems tied together. The headphone, whatever the sources, has to be kind of the same for both the headphones and the 2-channel, but you could do it. But I was just talking to a guy this week. I don't know. I think he was Texas. I forgot where he was. But anyway, he just got the 1266s a week ago. And he says it's the best thing he's ever had in his life. And he's 83 years old. He says the best thing he's ever had. He's selling his speakers. He doesn't need them anymore. And he's just going straight headphones. And he wanted to know what a good amp was to go with him because he was just running it out of a Cord he was running out of a Hugo or something.
Yeah, Hugo.
So he realized he needed more power. So, it's things like that where here's a man, his whole life he spent with speakers, and in a week, he's like, I don't need these anymore. This has given me way more information than I've ever had in my whole life. And he complimented us. He said he loves our videos. And he said, whoever came up with the videos is marketing genius because he says, I wouldn't have bought them if I didn't think that I didn't. He said when he saw the passion that we had for what we were doing, it made him understand that this is something he really wanted to try. And you got to admit, at that age, I don't think I would even do that. I don't think I would spend that much on it, I don't think I could do it. No, you think you'd be good with what you got. And but he's so happy he did. He listens to classical. So obviously to him, he said, the speakers can't even touch the headphones. So he's selling them. Done. $8,000 a pair of speakers. He's selling them. So anyway, I guess that, at least in his opinion, answered the question.
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest thing is, as Eric was saying, is the room. Is that, without actually having a dedicated room, you're always working around something like in a living room or something, and there's just nothing you can do about it. So you can only get so far, dealing with, a standard room.
Especially if there's other people in the house.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So if you have a dedicated room just for 2-channel, well, that's great. But most people don't. So that's probably the biggest hurdle that you can overcome with headphones.
Right. And even
if you got a wife and kids, there's no chance of sitting down with speakers alone.
You would need a very large house with a dedicated room and a considerable budget to be able to devote to 2-channel, to be able to meet or exceed
you got to have a door to
2-channel
close
system. I mean, with a headphone system. Because headphones is just, the room's right every time. You don't need to worry about the space quite so much. Like, a lot of people have a lot of gear, but still it doesn't occupy rooms and rooms for this stuff, unless you have 50, 100 headphones or something like that. Like, you put it in a corner of a room, you put it in a small area, nobody needs to hear it or really even see it when it's not being used. And when it is being used, it doesn't make much of a ruckus. You don't need to worry about disrupting others too much. It's a pretty easy thing to run at any time of day, even with other people sleeping in the house a lot of times. So comparatively, it's much easier to live with, I think, and it offers a better experience than most people would get with a 2-channel system until
the resolution is really high
and stuff. Yeah,
you'd have to spend an awful lot of money on
you spend millions plus
system.
and you had everything dialed in, you might be able to get a slightly more enjoyable experience, but it really depends on your tastes. We've talked to plenty of people at shows now that, and really all over the map, young to old, and quite a few of them used to have 2-channel systems, and they find that they're moving themselves more and more towards headphones because they find this to offer a more enjoyable experience than what they would get with their 2-channel. And it's just, especially in a situation where you're limited on space or limited on funding, it's vastly superior in almost every way.
Well, and to speak to the people, like I said, who have had speakers forever, and have tried headphones in the past, the distant past.
Yeah.
It's a whole different ballgame now. The last 5 years or so have ramped up the game hardcore. I mean, these aren't your grandma. These ain't your, how do you say? These ain't your father's headphones.
Yeah.
And
we spoke about that briefly and how the industry changed video, but the industry really matured over the years. It's really quite different. If you haven't looked in the past few years, things are changing for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot more options. There are a significant number of headphones in the upper echelon that something will fit the bill that you're looking for. And, tube amps, solid state amps. It's the same deal, They all take power cords. They all take interconnect. You just don't need any speaker cables. You need headphone cables instead. And it's the same deal. And it's more of an intimate setting. Most people seem to describe the headphones as being more with the band rather than, so many rows back. And that's the difference. It's a different acoustic perspective where speakers are always in front of you. So the sound is always in front of you. And with the headphones, it's in front of you, it's to the left of you, it's behind you, it's a bit more immersive. So, it's just a different perspective. And even if you had speakers for years, I think you get used to the headphones pretty rapidly. And, I remember when we first started building headphones, and I always loved my 2-channel system. I still do. It's sitting here behind me. It's not like I'm getting rid of it. And, but at first I'd go, hey, I'll try the headphones once in a while. And I stuck with the 2-channel. And then over time, I started using the headphones more and more because you definitely can hear more information. It's more higher resolution, even though this system here I have is completely tweaked out. It's very high res. Mm-hmm. But the headphones just can give you some stuff that the speakers just can't do in a room, And I'd say at this point, I'm probably a good 80% headphones at least, if not more. And every once in a while, I get the urge to just turn the speakers on. But if they weren't here, big deal. Every once in a while, I get an urge to jump in a sports car with a stick and beat the shit out of it. But I don't own one, So, and the urge goes away in like 5 minutes. So, the bottom line is I can happily live with these headphones, no issue. And not have this 2-channel taking up a room. So, I see it as a no question it can replace speakers.
Well, there is another thing too, that you can bring your headphones with you, so you can have them in a hotel or something.
Well, yeah.
Can't do that with your 2-channel, so
yeah,
that's nice.
You can go portable.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that actually. A lot of the guys that there's guys that have multiple pairs. They have the 1266 at home. They get a Diana or a Diana Phi to travel with. And, they go portable, and they're never without their music. It's understandable. If you don't go out partying every night or something like that, you got to go on trips. You're sitting in a hotel room picking your ass. Basically, you need something to do. They give you 3 channels to watch, and none of them are good, right? So it kind of makes sense. But, yeah, portability is pretty cool right now.
Yeah, because I know I brought them to a hotel before, and it's just like being at home. Then you kind of forget that you're not at home.
Yeah,
it's almost shocking to me, because normally when you're in the traveling type of mentality, you wouldn't think that kind of thing would be possible for some reason. At least personally, I don't. But then you put your headphones on, you get a high-end amplifier system or whatever with it, and it's no different than you being at home. Like, it's literally like bringing your 2-channel system with you, I think, to a lot of ways.
Yeah. In a little bag. I mean, you just carry it in a little bag. It's just,
right.
It's no big deal.
It's pretty easy.
I mean, usually when we go to trade shows, we bring them with us. It's like it's like Diana comes in a little bag, and nobody thinks nothing of it. They think it's a toiletry bag or something, you know what I mean? And then they didn't have no idea there's $5,000-$6,000 worth of headphone gear in that bag, and it goes right through the scanners, and no one bugs you with it, and you're on the plane, and everything's cool.
I guess that's actually an interesting thing. Because I would have thought that this, to some extent, would be a little strange looking, the design of this headphone running through a scanner, an X-ray scanner. Yeah. But never once have we been stopped or have they inspected.
They flag just about every other goddamn thing they carry, but
like the headphone, the copper Walkman.
Right, that's
a problem.
The solid
we have bags
brick.
of these and 1266 running through our luggage, like 6 headphones, 6 1266 in a luggage. It's got to look real weird, but they never stopped it.
Yeah. No, they never check it. Yeah,
it's no problem.
I guess because when they look at the shape, it looks like a headphone.
Yeah.
Well, 1266 though, because we had like a bag of 4 1266 a few times, and I'm thinking, I don't know, this is gonna look like a bunch of parts
we hand
or something.
carried.
Yeah.
Well, for some reason they didn't make it to the show. I forget what the deal was, but I remember a few times we'd taken them in, and we each carry 1 or 2, throw them in a scanner. Yeah. Well, the trick was to lay them on their side. Like, I think when the one time they were laying with the magnets vertical like that, and I think someone one of the airports wanted to look at, because they couldn't get a cross section of it vertically. They could see through the magnet's thickness looking down on a magnet that's
it was JFK.
But when you flip it, was it? Yeah, which is good. But when you flip it on its side, so you're looking down through the drivers, then they never question it, because they could see the full total shape of it, the thickness. So it'd be like putting your laptop on its edge and putting it through the scanner.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, wait a minute. So, but no, other than that, like Diana's, I don't think there was ever an issue. But that's the only thing I ever really think about doing, is just throwing it so that the drivers are facing down when it goes through the scanners. But we went off, as usual, went off topic. But yes, headphones definitely do replace speakers.
Yeah.
Unanimous. And, and we're teaching more and more people about that all the time. So. Good talk, good chatting with you guys from a distance, keeping our distance, which is boring as hell. I can't wait to have a beer with you guys together soon. And anyway, everyone, take care of yourself. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. We're still trying to get to 1,000 subscriptions so we can run over a headphone and give it away. So take care, everyone. Bye.
Yeah.